Okay.
Someday I'll buy myself one of those big fancy chairs. But
Yeah, there's something to be said for having an ergonomic work area.
well, I have a sit stand desk, so I can always make mine ergonomic, as long as the chair will uh cooperate.
Oh, and it looks like Pete had to duck out for a second.
How long have you had the sit stand?
Going on 5 years.
Wow. And do you
I
actually use
love it.
the stand part?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. About every 45 minutes I'll switch, and then you know, I try to only, stand for half hour or so, then sit for 45, stand for, you know, nice.
Yeah, I have a standing desk. I find I stand probably 75% of the day. It's just more comfortable.
Wow.
Once you get used to it, yeah.
How long do you think you would say it got you had it took for you to get used to it? A month?
Almost instantly. No,
Almost
Oh
instant.
wow.
yeah, it was almost instantly. You got to find the right settings, right? That's the most comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But I love this. Just it's single touch stand, single touch drop. Because when you work with multiple monitors, and I do a lot of video calls, excuse me, I tend to move around a lot while I'm working. So that
Yeah.
way I'm just one place.
Like mine has 4 settings. I can set it for whatever I want. And then, of course, got the manual up and down and the keyboard tray. You can angle it,
Yeah.
Mm.
move it up, down,
Well, it sounds like you
So
both
the
have.
really important question. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
No, go ahead, Jen.
Isn't the really important question for each of you then is, how tall are you?
I'm
Six,
6 foot.
yeah, I'm 6'3".
Ooh, Mark. This sounds promising.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like they both have the desks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm, it's not an
They,
attachment to the desk.
I've seen those like where it sits on top of your desk and then you just like push it up
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
now you're in the stand position. Mine, the whole desk moves up and
Okay.
down.
Yeah, same here. It's my whole desk.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
5 monitors. I'm not sure I can use that manual one.
Yeah. See, like mine, Christ, how wide is this? This thing is pretty much as wide as my arm span.
So
Um,
6 foot.
Yeah,
yeah, probably,
6 foot.
probably close to that. Yeah, and maybe about 4 foot deep.
Yeah, making it deep is what's important.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, being
Maybe.
deep is what's important. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like a single touch and everything comes up with me.
Well, you've
You know,
convinced me I gotta try it again.
but honestly, I agree. You really need the full desk, not the partial.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the top of my desk is probably an inch and a quarter thick. This thing's heavy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you guys also have like a step where you can put a foot while you're standing?
Well, you just buy that and you step on
Yeah,
it.
but I'm asking, do you use that or
Yeah,
do you use?
I've got one. And I just move it around.
I
Like
do too.
sitting down, if I sit down, I can just put my feet on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I have a thick pad too at my desk for
Okay.
standing.
And
yeah,
what do you do with it when you're not standing? The pad.
It sits underneath my chair. I just put my chair on it.
Okay.
yep. I just kind of bump my chair back out of the way and you know, kind of stand there. Until I get tired, then I'll sit down for maybe 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I have a secret lab chair. It has a pillow and you can lay flat and I kick my feet up. That gets dangerous.
Nice chair.
Yeah, it was my COVID gift.
Now, I don't know what kind of work you guys do.
I'm a system design.
Okay.
I run a software innovation company.
Okay.
So, IT.
So
Mhm,
all you computer geeks.
pretty much.
Yep. Indicative of some of our hobbies.
Yeah, right? That's been my experience is if there's a
That's
dude who's into tabletop gaming, tabletop RPGs, there's a good chance he's a computer nerd.
My daughter actually likes playing D&D or tabletops. And she started programming, but now she's into TikTok, so that's gone.
Yeah.
She was a 10 girl, now she's learning about makeup and stuff.
How old is your daughter?
She's 15.
Yeah.
My son liked doing D&D. He liked rolling. He thought that was all cool, and I'm gonna swing my axe at whatever. And yeah, now he wants to learn how to do Salesforce.
How to do what?
Salesforce. It's a CRM system. You know, I
There's
used
a
to.
huge demand for integration and management of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done software integration with Oracle, Salesforce, SAP, Informatica, all kinds of fun stuff.
Wow. All right. Well, while we're waiting
And
for...
I'm back in the
Oh.
room.
Oh, he's back. All right.
Ah.
Well, now we can't.
Jesus.
We're just gonna feed him to whatever beastie we found.
No, stand back, shooty, yeah.
All right.
So you guys found some horned earrings or
Ooh.
horned engravings. There we go. With the horned god engravings.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So...
Yeah. So go ahead.
No,
Not to
go
be
ahead.
mistaken for the horny god, which is a very different beast entirely.
Yes. We all worship that one at times.
Go ahead, Jim. Catch us up.
Oh, I was going to say, so I think that you missed the last session where we cleared out the church area, the ruins.
Mhm.
So we cleared that out after going back to town to pick up silver weapons that we ended up not needing.
Yeah.
I was here for that. I was here for that.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Okay, so we didn't need the silver weapons, but we did it anyway. And we came back and we took out, was it kobolds with a human priest or wizard of some kind? Human
Right.
caster?
Yeah.
They didn't put
Okay.
up much of a fight. They really didn't, because they didn't have any weapons. But
They didn't have any weapons, and also Pete threw a rune at them that just enthralled them.
That's the one at the tree, right? When we did the tree.
yeah, we were using the tree to zip back and forth. Yeah, so
Right.
Yeah.
you were here for that. Yeah.
And so we've gone back to the keep,
Mhm.
and we took a box that looked menacing and evil, and it felt evil to Sorak, I believe.
Yep.
And we took it to the priest in the keep, who's really more of a missionary. He doesn't have a church per se. and he has given us one of his acolytes to accompany us to go see a madman that lives in the woods. The acolyte, his name is Menlaus, and he is mute because he's taken a vow of silence. So we don't know if he's incapable of speech or chooses not to speak.
So we nearly killed him.
Yep. So we
Yeah.
nearly killed him. Trying
No,
to
we
test
didn't.
that theory. See if he would cry out.
Did he say ouch at all at any point?
Yep.
You know, gotcha.
He would have grunted when he got hit, but
So
no,
I believe that we.
no word.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So we decided to take a rest near a tree, I think, on our journey to the madman. And we seem to have been, what's the word I'm looking for?
Ambushed.
Yes, ambushed by bandits. And,
Worst ambush ever.
yeah. And we dispatched them. And I think that was the end. We kind of ran a little bit overtime with that, I think. And so we're looking at, do we stay here and rest? Do we need to rest? Should we move on? What do we do now?
Did we find any loot on those bodies? I can't remember.
No,
Or did we
never
not
got
even
that
look?
far,
Yeah, we didn't even look. Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
we
we were
finished.
running over.
Yeah.
Do we have a map?
Yes, we do have a map. Somewhat.
It's called
Which one?
Grasslands.
Yeah. Yep.
You'll like the drawings. They really give you this feeling that you're really there.
So the black dot in the middle is our tree, and the dotted lines around it is the branches of the tree.
Yep.
And the other black
We're a
dot
mighty
circle
foe.
are where everybody died.
You
Yeah.
were a mighty force.
Is that why I'm out here alone?
Yep.
That's all grouped
You,
together.
you threw your yarbles out there before any of us could do anything.
That sounds about right. Right. And we're going to see a madman?
Yeah, he's
Or a
hermit.
wise man, depending on your perspective. Huh?
He's eccentric. Got it. Is anybody injured?
Oh yes. Yes. I
Are we including the bandits?
Well, if we include them, there's death and destruction.
Well, I mean, the question is, do we rest? And I would think we would rest if we're injured.
I think we were going to rest the night here, if I remember correctly. Was that not
Because we never
our plan?
even
We
set
were
up
just
camp.
about to set up camp here, and then we got ambushed.
Yep,
And
so-
in setting up camp, I want to try and set up a rabbit snare. Something humane.
Because you want to milk the rabbit.
Gonna need some milk, guys.
Milk the rabbit. Best Elmer fudd I could do. So yeah, I would definitely love to rest because I am down 9.
Does anyone have any other healing myth thingamajiggies?
I have
Maybe
my
I-
steep stones. I have 15 of them.
I have 1 week worth of rations.
Yeah. I used my lay hand, so that's out for.
Okay, so
Mark.
so who needs how much?
I'm down 9. I don't
Ouch.
remember everybody else. Yeah, I had some really bad luck.
I'm
Mhm.
fine.
You're fine. Or...
Somebody,
I'm fine. 100% fine.
Great.
somebody, not naming any names, Mark, kept rolling 19s and 20s on me.
That's
That's
right.
Only fair, because I was rolling the same on his bandits.
We have
So,
14 now?
How's Johnson doing on health?
I look like I'm at full health.
Great. Take the 9 then. I'll give you all of them.
I'm at full health.
I'm sorry. Take the 9 Sorak.
Okay.
I'll give you 9 stones.
All right. There. I am feeling chipper.
I swore I had potions. Did I ever use them?
I had potions too, but that was another life.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I thought I thought I got potions. No. I was well stocked in another life.
As I've got a few spare static runes, I will refresh the static rune on Sorek to make it now a level 2 version of what it was.
Oh,
Well,
that's a good.
actually, instead of me taking 9, why don't I just take 7 and you give 2 to Menlaus?
I was just about to say that's a good idea. How's Menlaus doing?
If you wanted them, you should have asked for them, shouldn't he? Yeah.
Mark, how's Menlaus doing?
Menlaus.
We did bandage him up a bit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Yes.
we banded.
He has 7 wounds out of 8 hit points.
So now he has
Bandaged
2
him.
points.
Yes, we brought him back from the brink.
And now we've just given him 2 steeped stones.
Okay.
We can only do 1 each, correct?
Correct.
You said you applied 2 bandages, right?
Yeah, we definitely applied 2 bandages. I did one.
So why don't
and
you roll
did
if you
one.
gave him one hit point or 2?
Yeah, I don't remember if we did. Okay.
We did not roll that yet, I don't think.
Let's check. I know I just rolled a straight 20, but it's just a +1.
So yeah, Sorek, your shielding when you use it will now work for 2 rounds instead of 1 round.
Okay. Cool. 2 rounds.
If
So
you ever
11
use
hit
it.
points. Is it for a total of absorbs a total of 11?
12 now.
12 now. Okay. Updating my notes.
Any level of physical damage on it or any energy-based attack, including lightning bolt, fireball, magic missiles, magic arrow, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I should have done that in that fight. Invoked my rune.
Yeah, but
Who's making the pretty tree?
you need to know you're going to be hit, really. So it's difficult to know when to use it.
I should
we'll-
have known after I got critical that I should put it up.
But if we're just about to sleep, don't be afraid to use it because, yeah.
It goes away. It's a use it or lose it.
Well, no, it's not that it goes away, but if I have spare runes left that day, I will get all my runes back the next day. So I may as well use my runes. If I've used all my runes, then sure, be careful about it. But
Okay, so now what?
Have to take turns doing watch, correct?
Correct.
So we'll just do like 2-hour rotations and call it a night.
You know what? I'll do first because if I get a chance to snare a rabbit before I sleep, then I can count it today instead of tomorrow, and then save the milk for tomorrow.
We'll, we'll tell poor Menlaus he can just snooze.
Yes.
Mhm.
He's not going to be waking anybody up with that voice.
Wasn't he a full casting cleric? Can he not, cleric, heal thyself? Huh?
Indeed.
Don't clerics have to vocalize?
He will
Point.
shake his head no, and he will shrug and begin clasping his hands and praying and holding his holy symbol.
Oh, so he's like doing ninja moves.
Exactly.
Okay. Good.
All right, let's see what happens.
And he seems to look, and color returns to his face.
Oh,
Mhm.
good.
By the way, Jen, your audio is fantastic today.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, it is.
So I have to actually use 2 computers to make that happen, but it's working.
Our campfire.
And sit on it or something.
Come again?
The campfire looks a bit squashed.
Oh,
It does.
hey, we've got one. What are you complaining about?
We're gonna try this again.
There you go. Now it looks
Like a
really
funeral
big. That's
pyre.
more like a
Big campfire.
Hey, we're gonna burn the bodies. That's what it
Oh,
is.
that's right.
It's a pyre. There we go.
Half the grasslands as well.
And attract the rest of the bandits.
But yeah, did we find anything on the bandits? Oh, it crashed.
We
Uh-oh.
It's a fire.
Yep. Mark burnt the whole thing down.
I did. It crashed for all of us, it seems.
Yes, it did. It told me it was not responding. So
Told me
I
Burn it
Mark
with fire.
button. Error
Right.
message, blame Mark.
Yes, of course. Oh, rotatey dicey.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Oh, the first game with that shadow dice thing that starts this game, yeah, today.
Oh.
If you would like, yes.
Say that one again.
So we
Yeah.
have
Where the darkness grows throughout our game, so every time we have a darkness counter, and every time,
If you go to the chat on 18th of May, all the details are there.
yeah.
Just the lighting thing you were talking about before.
This is darkness, not lighting. This is a world thing that's growing with darkness, and it can have in our dice and on the world if we don't burn it back.
It's essentially you can make a choice to continue to embrace the darkness. And when you do, you get benefits to your rolls. But every time you do, you increase the chance that the darkness will grow. You can decide that you're done flirting with darkness and try to do things to bring it back to reduce the darkness. But if you don't, once the darkness reaches a certain threshold, something very catastrophic will happen somewhere in the world. It could be with you, near you, far away, but something very seriously powerful. So it lets you choose just how much of the darkness you want to embrace and use in your encounters.
And if I recall correctly, we're all void walkers, right?
You all came from the voids. You all have only recent memories. You don't have any
So the void
memory
may
of
be the darkness, or it may be
hard to
opposite.
say. It's essentially a choice that you can make to use the darkness that's ever present around you to your advantage. So you start out with a certain value, and that value can increase on the first roll of first miss of every encounter. Now I got to review the rules for the specifics.
Now,
Yeah,
is the
I thought it was
darkness
just like once
inherently
per
evil?
time that it kicked in. But it impacted like spell failures and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is the darkness inherently evil, or is it just darkness?
Well, you could say it's inherently evil. It is the corruption of the world.
Okay.
Corruption sounds like a good word.
Yes. So yes, it's evil, but it's not an active, malevolent, evil force. If that's what you're thinking, it's more of a embracing the sinful side of your nature, of everyone's nature, the world's nature.
It's like the moldy bits in Stilton cheese. It just wouldn't be the same without it being there. But you really don't just want the moldy bits and nothing else.
I'm allergic to those.
Yeah, that's really such a shame.
So it starts at 1, and what you can do is at any time you roll a 1d20, so that's basically an attack roll or a check or a save, you can roll a number of dice equal to the darkness value. So if it's at 1, which is where it'll start, you can only roll 1d6. Then you can add the value of that die to your d20 roll. If, say, it goes to 2, then you can roll 2d6 and add the larger. So you're always able to add a d6 roll to your d20 check.
But by doing that, you're going to increase the darkness.
You won't actually increase it by using it. So that's the cool thing is you can for the rest of the encounter you can take advantage of it. So that's the power of the dark side, right? You can add the d6,
right?
Yes. Now, it will increase if you do nothing. It will eventually increase on its own because it will increase the first time you fail a check for every encounter. You can also reduce it if you think it's getting too high or you don't want to use it. You can reduce it by using any ones that you roll when you roll the dice pool. You can use the 1 to subtract to bring the counter back down. So essentially
you subtract 1 from your dice.
Right. So you take the hit, you take the 1 penalty, but you also reduce the darkness just a little bit by making a small sacrifice. You can actually use as many 1s as you roll in your dice pool. So it sounds like we have one vote that you want to try using it.
Make me another vote.
So 2 votes.
I think it's an interesting thing, so I'm going for it.
You want to try for a little bit?
I'm
Yeah.
open.
Okay.
I'm open.
So you'll have to remind me if I forget to use it to add it in.
It's on the opening action of an encounter.
Right. The first fail of an encounter increases that number by 1. So we'll set it actually at 0, and then when your first fail comes, we'll bump it to 1, and then from there on you can decide what to do with it.
Okay.
On either side. The first fail on either side, or just our fail?
Your fail. So think of it thematically as the first time you fail, you're like, gods of darkness, grant me my party some power, please.
Give me your power.
Yes. Okay, we should be back up and rocking.
Yep.
Apologies for the boot.
I'm getting the grasslands back up.
Yep.
The only person we're missing is Jen.
It's still red on my end. I'm sorry. I was waiting. I was thinking Mark was still having troubles.
Nope, sorry, no more troubles.
Thanks for saying something, guys. I am so sorry. I didn't realize y'all were waiting on me. Be there in 2 shakes.
Okay, I heard that you were setting up your watch order.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Jen wanted to take first.
Yeah, because while I'm doing watch, I'm gonna put together my rabbit cage, my rabbit trap, and try to trap some conies.
Who was second?
I mean, I'll take second. Third was my targeting. I was targeting third.
The original order was Arista, Menius, Sorak, Vartan, and Johnson.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think we keep the same, but without Menius.
Oops.
Menlaus.
Menelaus.
Menlaus is second. Sorak is third.
He was second, but we're going to let him sleep this night.
Yeah. Yes, he's the most injured. We should just let him sleep.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Menlaus, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he actually, you noticed when you told him he should probably heal himself that he had nodded, and then shortly after praying, he seemed much better.
He kind of had the expression on his face of, "Oh crap! Yeah, I can do that, can't I?"
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He seemed sort of.
Nice one, Menlaus.
Yes.
Must have had a mighty blow on your head. Huh?
Well,
But that's 10 hours.
Well, his head probably bounced off the ground from some of the blows he took.
he's also perhaps not the brightest monk in the shed.
Maybe why he
maybe
was
it's like
sacred.
maybe there's a reason they want him silent.
Okay. I'm good with it. I was only pushing towards the darkness because I've got, the vision.
Oh, haha.
I'm not hindered like, a poor human.
Who would want to be a human, indeed?
And they live such short lives.
Short like a butterfly.
And they
But
flutter
not-
around like butterflies.
Not quite as pretty, though.
They don't have beards on their women. How wrong.
I still don't know how you can wear that itchy, flea-ridden thing on your face, but whatever you like.
It's to catch the food that I miss. You never know what scraps you may need.
Notice, yes.
All right, Jen, can you give me a check?
Of what flavor?
Wisdom. I'm sorry, intelligence.
Oh, that's even better.
I
Thanks.
can't drag boxes around in.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me try that again. I should have done that in the tower. There we go.
Okay. As you study your books before falling asleep, one of the which books do you have? Try to remember how many you have.
I have 2 books, I believe, from
Okay, thought
Mara's house.
thought you had 3. So one of them is a thinner
Wait a
volume.
minute. So I have a large spell book, a letter, I think an empty book that I use, an illuminated chap book, and scraps of burned paper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and a bundle of letters.
Right. Okay. In the spell book, you begin to realize that one of the pages seems to be a spell relating to astronomy. One of the clues is there are pictures of stars in the borders of the pages. It looks like it'll be a difficult spell to learn, but you feel confident that you can learn it soon. You seem to have had some sort of breakthrough in deciphering the script. Eventually, you will all fall asleep, taking turns one by one, and the night will pass without event.
Hey.
You are still closer to the river, so there is still a bit of open plain with some sparse brush around you, but your path takes you clearly towards a very thick forest, and you should reach that forest within an hour of breaking camp and heading west. Any preparations you want to take in the morning?
Just make sure everything's oiled on my armor and all my straps are good. I'm ready to go. Chomp on some rations.
Oh, I might also mention real quick to anyone who was not here, I've started creating public notes in the notes, and so there's one that even discusses what we've learned from the Horned God box, or learned of the Horned God box.
Yep. I see your rumors, prophecies. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm all good.
I didn't even know you could do that. That's neat.
How cool is that, right?
Very. Thank you.
On the party sheet, on the order tab, is this the order that you want to march in? I'm talking about the marching formation, rather. Not the order, watch order, but the formation.
What if we had Johnson and Sorak go first, side by side, with me and Menlaus behind those two, and then having Varaton bringing up the rear? What do you guys think?
I'm good with that.
Okay
Okay.
with it.
Yes.
Kind of smooshes Menlaus in the middle that way. And me, the squishy one.
You want to be smooshed up with Menlaus. Ooh.
Do you want to be single file or side by side with him?
then Larson Arista sitting in the tree.
I think we're
Oh
going
my
to go through
goodness.
the woods. We're going to need probably single file.
Yeah.
I go.
He could carry me on his back, I'm sure.
It disappeared.
Oop,
Yeah, me too.
that was my fault.
You guys got stacked, I think.
No.
Oh, I'm
I was trying
stacked,
to.
right.
I was doing something silly.
Were you being fancy?
I was trying to cheat by dragging their icons from that sheet, but that won't work. I bet you I can't drag it from the watch order either. No, I can't. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah. I put myself in front of Johnson simply because he can look over top of me. I can't look over top of him. And I really don't want to be looking between his legs.
Good point.
But I just want to make note, this is a big step for me. I'm letting a half breed monstrosity have my back.
Yay.
It's all right. I'll keep an eye on him for you.
Even though he did offer me booze, which is,
The beer, wasn't it? The beer is what did it.
it definitely was helpful. And it was decent. Wasn't that swill that I usually see your kind drinking.
I learned the microbrew secrets.
As you can see by my icon, a flagon in the hand. These are what's important in life. Hey, interesting. I'm the only one left on the grasslands.
Oh, see, I'm still looking at the party sheet. I'm not even looking at what happened to the picture. There it is. You are the only one left on the grasslands. What happened?
Walk too slow.
Yep.
Ooh, just learned something.
What?
You can measure a distance on a map by holding down both mouse keys and dragging. How cool is that, huh?
Very cool.
And then as long as you haven't done anything, just escape deletes it.
Very nice.
Nifty, eh?
This is an educational session.
You're learning so much.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Now, were you there, Boss Dad, when we that you can move the map around by clicking on the middle mouse button and dragging?
Again, learning something new.
How nice it is, isn't it?
It is such a newbie at this.
And you know the wheel will zoom in and out, right?
Yeah,
The scroll wheel.
Okay. So it's
This
about.
has been today's special.
Sorry. So it's about mid-morning. You begin your trek into the forest, and you find yourself following a game trail, or rather a not well maintained, rather obscure trail. In places, it will appear more used than in others. And at about mid morning, and it did not open. So if you could open a map called Forest Trail. Maybe it's sharing it in the background. I just made it public.
I see it. Okay, got it.
Yep, I'm there.
Oh, another thing we also recently learned was that when it's your turn in the order during combat, the map automatically centers on you.
Because you're special.
Is that new?
I don't know, but it was really darn annoying.
I believe we found a way to turn that off. Yes, it's in the options. If you go into options, you can turn that off.
That's right.
So it may be the case that it was defaulted to off, and in a recent release, they defaulted it back to on or something.
That's right.
I didn't really notice it until Jen, you started making comments. Because I guess on my screen, obviously, I don't go from a character's perspective per se. So.
Right.
So you come to a fork in the forest, and it's unclear to you which way to continue.
Well, that's look at Menlaus and say, "You're here. Which way should we go?" You're our semi-guide.
He's gonna he's gonna step forward and look both ways and just kind of shrug. Clearly, he doesn't really have an opinion one way or another. While you're standing about, all of you give me a perception check. So it's either your int or your wisdom.
In the tower.
Yes. Sorak, as they're standing, or as you are all standing there and Menlaus is shrugging, you notice movement all around you in the trees. Little blur of color. Little blurs of color.
Okay, I'm going to turn nonchalantly to Johnson and say, "There's something out there all around us."
Yes, trees.
No. Something's moving about.
Up in the trees?
Yes.
I'm going to ready my axe.
I'm gonna ready
I need to move. Arista closer to me.
Arista what?
Hold on. Yes,
Dealing with
I
a puppy.
moved it to kind of shield you as I ready
Oh,
my
okay.
act.
And as you do
Do I see
that,
it since I'm looking for it?
no, you don't. But as you begin to ready your axe, two snarling wolves leap out of the from behind bushes. They look like they were ready to ambush you, and they begin running, sprinting towards you.
Okay.
Okay, we can yell wolf. So Baratine knows, and the Minmouse knows, so they're not caught off guard.
Okay.
Okay, I toss my static rune rock just down between myself and the wolves.
Okay. Can you put a flag or something where you've put it, where you've thrown it?
And when I say yep, I mean nope. Hang on. I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh, did I
have
find?
choice.
Did I manage to snare any rabbits last night or any mammals?
I'm sorry, I forgot to have you check for that. Roll a d20. You can roll it in the open. You did not. It does not help that you don't have any particular skill in hunting or snaring.
Indeed.
Okay, where there's that black mess of a dot, which I tried to make an X, but somehow I don't know what the hell I did. But that's it there.
Okay.
So forces a moving item or person in a different direction. So affects items that weigh up to 100 pounds. Anything encounter the rune or the item upon which it is inscribed is affected, and will veer 5 feet to the left because that's what I put on the rock. So anything passing over that will suddenly get veered off to the left by 5 feet.
Okay.
Maybe I'll
And
crash into the bush.
Yeah, crash into the tree.
He's jumping across.
I'm sorry, bear with me. Why is this not? Why? Is it not linking the tokens to the creature? That is why. I see what happened. Okay.
Well, the wolf turned around.
Yeah, he did, but he's still facing you. Bear with me. I did this the way I did it last time, and they seem to have changed something. So, once again, I'm
He
going to
turns completely around. Does he become a mummy?
Interesting concept. No.
I don't.
Well, W becomes M.
That's like throwing all the W's out at the M&M factory.
Yes.
There. Now he's a mummy.
The mummy wolf.
Bear with me 1 second. I have to reset this encounter because the hit hasn't preserved my. Oh, it didn't link the tokens I'd set to the
monster.
Yeah. I have no idea
Bummer.
why. But now it did.
Okay.
Okay, so that's in
You're not
order
in
and
combat.
that's in order. Oh, right. Top of the order. Sorry, let's restart this. Barton, you're up.
Okay. Can I? Uh, can I shoot the wolf? The mummy wolf.
Sure. We'll have to assume that you had your bow held and at the ready while you were traveling, or at least within grasp.
You keep the bow within grasp at all times, so cautious when traveling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. Don't.
Might need to hit a little harder than that.
Right through his ear.
Sorak,
Okay.
you hear the twang of a
I'm
bow.
gonna fall back here, and to protect the men mouse and the rest, kind of tighten, circle the wagons, and I want to see if they're evil, or are they just neutral creatures?
No, they're just animals. They're just neutral. You don't detect anything evil
Yep.
about them.
Okay. I'm pretty much just gonna prepare for whatever. Let them come. Trying to protect my people.
All right, Arista.
Does it look to me like if I were down there between them, I could be in melee range of both of them?
Yeah, you to get down, you see there's that little outcropping, so it's only a few feet,
Mm-hmm.
but to land on your feet carefully to attack one of them, you wouldn't be able to get between them. You got the bush in the way, but you could make a very low dexterity check to land in
And
a
that would get me
position.
where?
That would get you in front of either wolf. So as part of your move, you'll have to do a little bit of a jump and to land without offering an opportunity for them to attack you unguarded.
Okay. And let me see here. Give me 2 seconds. This is
It's in front of you, so to block them from you.
I understand that. I do, but I want to put them to sleep. I don't have very many spells, and sleep is one of them. That's all I can do at this point to be helpful without being squishy. But because I can't get both of them, I think I'm not going to try it.
Sleep because you have to throw the dust.
I have to be within melee range to get the dust on them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it says sparkling dust conjured from the land of dreams blankets a small melee, and all within fall asleep. Saving throws apply.
Yes, so
I have to be reasonably close to them. I imagine someplace where
you'd
you
have
can
to be
easily
within.
throw.
So to give you hard numbers, I would say if you get within 15 feet,
Okay.
you could throw.
Okay.
It would be an attack in that case. You'd have to roll an attack roll.
Right.
And
Oh wait, I have
could,
to roll an attack roll.
Right. To get it to land where you want it to land.
Kind of like a ranged touch attack.
Yeah, exactly. So you're
Okay.
you're determining how close you get to where you want it to get.
Okay.
And or call it a dexterity check if you like. And then
Okay.
you could blanket, 10 or 15 square feet
Okay.
You could hit the both of them if you tried to throw it, say, over the tree or over that shrub.
Okay. So I'm doing a dex check to get off the edge, and then also a dex check to throw it.
You don't even have to get off the edge.
Right.
You just have to go to the edge.
Okay.
So
Then I will
saunter
try
up-
that.
Yep. So saunter around Johnson,
Sorry, Johnson.
and then throw your shot and try to get it over that shrub. Otherwise, it could land anywhere around that shrub.
Put the shrub to sleep.
Okay. It's gonna land 5 feet to the right of where you wanted it to go. So it's gonna land closer to the mummified wolf, and probably only cover him.
Okay. Well, at least I cover one.
And he gets a saving throw.
Yep. He gets a saving throw.
Versus a DC of your level 2, so 14, and he will go to sleep.
Yes.
Now, did you try to amp that up at all, or I should ask you before you cast? Did you try to amp that up for a longer sleep period, or?
I don't know what that does.
So remember, in this world, you can sort of increase your spell and biggen your spell if you want at the cost of more mana. And at the risk of causing a spell failure or a spell catastrophe, rather.
Gotcha.
So,
But I don't know how long it puts him to sleep to begin with.
We'll calculate that next round. Question is, did you want to try to increase it so that?
That depends on what increasing it. That depends on what it would be without increasing it, I suppose.
Right. And nothing in the spell indicates how long it's going to last.
Correct. Maybe until he makes a saving throw. He gets a saving throw every turn.
What is it called? Dust of
the Sandman. It's 4.5.
I'm sorry, what's 4.5?
Oh, if you look in the book, it's the 4th list, the 5th spell down.
Gotcha. Okay, I don't have easy access to it, so just to get moving things along. Why don't you roll a 1d4?
Okay.
Okay, so 3 rounds.
1. Okay.
So I'm using 1d4 plus your level.
Okay, sounds good.
And then
3
after
rounds
this,
is good.
we'll put some more hard numbers on it. Okay. So that was Arista. And the wolf to the south, who is now
having puppy dreams.
And Johnson.
Sorry, Johnson. I'll take the shield now.
It's 20 feet. Can I jump down and attack?
Yeah, it'll be the same thing. Make a low risk dexterity check so that you land on your feet comfortably and in a position to attack. Otherwise, if you fail it horribly, you may end up prone or stumbling or something. Oh yeah, you land on your feet, and in fact,
Does he do a somersault in the air?
Well, that's up to him if he wants to describe how he gets down there.
I'm doing that whole axe over the head lunge thing.
Yes, great. I was gonna say, so you've leaped with such mighty grace and strength and ferocity, and you come down on that wolf. So roll your attack with +2.
I heard ferocity, and then I missed what was after that.
Oh, sorry. So with ferocity, and it's sort of a Superman cleave. So roll your attack +2 and add 1 to your damage.
Nice, but what happened last time we had Superman attacks?
Nice.
Booyah!
19 plus 1 is a 20.
Well,
Plus
that-
2.
Yeah.
It's a
So,
plus 2 is a 21, and then plus 1 to the
Plus 2. So now do the damage.
and add 1.
and add 1.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
Ghetto crit.
So that's 11.
Uh,
And I didn't target the wolf. Darn it.
That's all right.
Is that a very dead wolf?
That is
Yes.
a not very healthy wolf who is now unconscious and bleeding and dying.
Because he's got an axe buried in him.
And another wolf that's asleep. We took care of this just like that, guys.
Menlas will take a step back and will just smile as he watches the rest of you intently, admiring your courage in battle.
Now, before anybody tries to
Yeah,
attack
thanks,
the other
Menlas.
wolf, I'm going to shout, wait! Is it female?
Knew you were going to do.
Basically, you're just drugging them to sleep and then milking their titties when they're not aware.
Yeah.
You roofied him.
Oh my god.
So just as your axe buries severing the head from spine, instantly killing the wolf, you hear growling and howling above you and behind you.
Uh-oh.
And suddenly several more wolves who were encircling you begin growling and
Yeah,
lunging
2
toward
is
you.
not a pack. Yeah, I expected something. Because 2 is not a pack.
Indeed.
All right, Vartan.
I was thinking 5 to 7.
You heard the snapping jaws behind you and the growling.
Okay, can I shoot and make a half move? A half move is what? 15, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to check something on my character sheet. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I only see one of them on the screen, Mark. Never mind.
Let's
I
get
see.
zoom out.
Yeah, there should be a total of 6, 5 plus 1 dead one.
Okay, I see them now.
I'm going to shoot the nearest one, then kind of sidestep around my my rock of blocking. Try and position it between me and the wolf.
Okay, so you're going to shoot and then sort of retreat a few feet.
Yeah.
Ice.
Or not. Oh, no, he's not down. Damn. Like that.
Okay, Johnson, you feel very emboldened. What are you going to come up with next?
I warn Arista with the shout, by the way. If the wolf charges me, it'll hit her. So she should move.
That wolf 40 feet, so that's a full run for me, correct? That can only go 30?
Yeah, it would be you could charge it, I believe, at that point.
Okay.
You have to move your full movement rate.
So what do I roll?
So you'll get a bonus on your roll, but you'll give up an armor class because you're running with a little bit of an abandon, letting down your guard. So I believe it's +2 to your attack, and I think it's a 4 to your AC. You can probably double check that. There's handbook. There is. Oh no, where's combat? Where's.
So it'd be like your touch armor class.
Someone's been playing a lot of Pathfinder 5e. It sounds like.
roll the touch.
Yeah, I'm just actually looking at the main tab. There's a touch armor class
Oh, there
listed.
is. Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Which is basically just your dex bonus plus, 10.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it ignores any armor.
Yep.
Because
You
it's really
touch the wolf in the face with your axe.
Yeah, exactly.
Touch ya!
Ah,
Yeah. Let's roll with that. I'm pretty confident that's the deal. It's been a bit, but you're gonna get a +2 to your attack and then a -4 to your AC.
To roll my touch.
No, go ahead and make your charge and then make an attack. I'm saying if somebody attacks you for the duration of this round, you're at a penalty because you ran without guarding yourself. So you.
Skirt.
Yep.
and it's unconscious. Beautiful.
Nice.
It's wolf meat for dinner tonight.
Hell
Right?
yeah.
Arista,
make sure-
finish,
See if
finish
it's
that wolf.
a girl.
I didn't hear what you said, Pete.
I'm suggesting you might want to finish the one that's kind of near us.
The one that's
One that-
napping?
The one that I poked.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't help.
The one
Oh,
just
Wolf
to the
3?
west. Yeah.
Okay.
No, wolf 1.
But I also advised you to move after you do it because otherwise it might hit you if it comes from me.
The wolf is gonna reach out and try to trip you, Johnson, and I believe it's gonna succeed. So you're now prone.
Okay.
And the next wolf.
Reach out and touch you. Dun, 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 dun.
What the heck? Well, that's odd.
Well, the other 20 wolves not working. That's a shame.
Yeah, right.
Find the
Okay,
alpha.
I think we got it. Next wolf is going to bite. Oh, all my stuff disappeared. Oh, come on. What are you doing to me? You're killing me, Smalls. This interface, my chat window disappeared.
Yay.
Bear with me a second. What do I need to
So
do?
we'll just tell you the dice rolls. Just keep going. That wolf rolled another one.
You rolled a 1?
No.
Did it roll?
No.
No, we're waiting on wolf 6.
Come on. Oh,
The
you're kidding me. You're
snapper.
kidding me. Where do I get my chat window back? Let's see. Let's try that. Oh, sorry. Okay. I was just obscured by the map. This interface is two bugs in the span of a minute here. All right. Just roll the attack. And let's see. I don't know what the bonus is going to be. It's +2, so that's 15. And what is your AC? Oh, it's a hit. You're on your ass for one thing.
Who is he attacking?
He's attacking Johnson.
I
Another
see
wolf
it,
closed in, yeah, up at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot! It rolled the. There we go. I need the damage. There we go. 2 damage.
Just 2.
Yep, just 2. It bites you, snarling.
Bring it.
All right, Arista. You hear the sounds of.
Okay. I'm going to reach into my unsteeped stones pouch and pull out a stone and put it in my slingshot and fling it. Whoops, sorry. Not trying to move me. Come on. Trying to do my... That way.
Okay. She's
Select the
slinging a
wolf.
stone.
Oh, that didn't work. Let's try this again. What's his number? Wolf number 3?
Yeah, he's 3.
There we go. That worked. Ooh. Not good enough. And then I'm gonna jump down.
Okay, right next to that wolf next to you.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Menlaus was studying Johnson, and he's seeing Johnson go down, slip, and get tripped. So he decides he wants to. Come on.
He's gonna
Run up and
assist.
render aid. And he'll get to
Yeah,
Johnson,
he's
and you'll
not
notice.
the brightest pencil.
What's that?
He's not the sharpest pencil.
No, not particularly. And as he gets there, Johnson, you can tell he's already out of breath. So he's a bit out of shape. This wolf will charge. And what does the rune do? The rune will cause it to veer to the left.
Which wolf will charge?
The wolf 3 will get to here.
We're on wolf 1.
About wolf
I'm
one.
sorry, wolf 1.
You gotta go forward one more. That's why I was confused. Sorry.
Nope. It's all good. You're right. I'm moving the wrong critter. It's
Let him
good
snore.
highlighted it. All right.
Yes. Wolf 1 is
Wolf.
snoring still.
You're
Yeah.
right. It is.
She's got one more snore after this.
Exactly. Now I can move Wolf 3.
Yeah.
It sighs and charges into battle. And it reaches the rune and it veers to the left. Does it get a saving throw? Pete?
If you're talking, Pete, we can't hear you.
It would have failed it anyway. It ends up at
5 foot to the...
Yep. But does it get a saving throw?
No, I don't think it is.
Okay. What ends up at Sorak? And
Oh, you can save throw. SV says yes, but there's no save in the description.
Oh.
So in the header it says yes, in the text it mentions nothing on saving throws.
and will attempt to bite Sorak, but as it is a little bit confused by the rune, it misses.
Okay.
And the next wolf is also dead. Very, most sincerely dead. Wolf 5 is dead. Sorak, finally. Target-rich environment.
Yes, well, since Wolf 3 bit me, or snapped at me, I'm going to kill him. Now, come on.
You sound very confident.
Oh, yes. Say yes.
Yep. Top of the order, Arista.
Yes. Okay. So as I pick up the sleeping wolf's head and pull my dagger across its neck, I mumble something about even dead wolves have milk.
You are a gruesome, gruesome human.
I don't know if we were at the dark die of 1 already yet, but that definitely causes a die to appear floating over your party of 1.
Really?
Of 1. As if the dark forces coalesce and begin to pinpoint a point just above your party. So from here on out, you have a die of 1. I don't know if you guys have actually missed yet. I don't think any of you have. But I think that
I think I did.
that act
I
alone.
did.
Okay. So from here on out, if you want to roll your d6s, 1d6 at this point because it's only 1. That wolf is dead and now without head. Let's see. Without head is its condition.
Really?
Wait, I'm sorry. What did you say you
Carved
did?
that hard.
Slit its
I just
throat.
slit its throat so it would die.
Oh, throat slit. That's right. I'm sorry. I
And I was lamenting that I was killing a mammal that might give me milk.
Just started to slit its throat and got carried away, hence without head.
Wolf 5 not doing anything. Johnson, you're still you're still prone.
Which one bit me?
I believe it was 6.
Yes, it was
Yeah,
sick.
the one that came from your left tripped you, and the one that came from above you bit you.
All right, we're meleeing this thing.
So you're gonna have to stand unless you want to try to just attack from your back.
I'm on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So I can't. But he's on top of me fighting. I'm gonna melee him.
Okay. You'll have a penalty to your attacks.
Okay.
So your choices are: you can stay on the ground and attack from the ground and just take a -2 penalty, or you can try standing, and I'll give you a dexterity check. If you fail it, then the other 2 wolves get a chance to attack.
Fair enough. So do a dexterity check.
Yeah. To stand up defensively. Oh, you not only stand up defensively, you feel like you could take an extra swipe.
You could come down defensive, Superman style.
You feel like you could make 2 attacks this round on the 2 wolves closest to you.
All right, so I'm doing the whole helicopter swing thing.
Yeah, something like a cleave. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Your attack on the second wolf.
It's all about the follow through.
Yes, it is. Oh man. Wow. Okay. You guys don't need the darkness to help you.
Oh, he did both those on the one.
Wolf.
Yep, that's right. Was wolf 4? Wait, which one?
Yeah, it's wolf 4.
6 gets 6 back. 6 gets 6 back, so he was at 3, and then Andy's no longer unconscious. And 4 gets 6.
Who's healing the wolves?
He applied the damage to the same wolf twice. So I'm
Oh, right,
rebalancing it.
yeah. I was worried for a minute that someone was just randomly healing the wolves.
Evil bastard.
Am I going to have to kill Menlaus now?
Yeah.
He's so scared he healed the wolf by mistake.
All right. Sorak.
Okay. We are going for wolf number 4. And I'm going to charge.
All right. Boy, that bearded axe.
I
That
love
thing is
bearded.
crazy.
I love the bearded axe.
So Wolf 4 can do nothing, having negative twice his hit points. Wow.
Aren't
It's
any
not
of them
letting me
conscious?
edit the effects. Wow. I feel so useless. I can't edit half the things I want to edit. I can't move icons I want to move. Wolf 4 is, I'm sorry, Wolf 6 is still in the fight, so he's going to take a swing.
He is? He's not unconscious?
No, he's not
No.
unconscious.
No,
Oh,
that's the
okay.
effect I can't remove.
Gotcha. And Wolf 1 you can't add it to.
No. Wolf 6 is the only thing that's standing.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Wolf,
he will hit Johnson.
Oh,
Wow.
Just a scratch.
Just a scratch.
He's
All right,
but
fire
a
time.
scotch.
okay, so the standing wolf is Wolf 6, right?
Yep, one wolf remaining.
That's not what I wanted to target. Hang on. So yeah, it's a doable shot. Yeah, that's a doable.
Nice.
Oh no, didn't take it down.
Must be a big wolf.
Could be.
My arrow's less powerful today.
All right, Menlaus, you see, will begin praying. And after a moment, he will reach out to Johnson. And Johnson can receives 4 points of healing from Menlaus.
Take that.
And then Menlaus will take a step back. Well, 5 does nothing. Johnson.
All right. So which wolf is awake?
6.
6.
6. It's the only one left.
And that's who I will attack. Be on target wolf 4.
Bring your mighty wrath.
Swinging with much anger.
We call that burying the axe. You buried the axe with him.
That's all our problems.
No more hard feelings.
Did I ask you about that?
I'd like to ask you a question. Yes.
All right, Jen, roll me a percentile. Wow. Okay, so 85% of these are female, so we will say that all but 2 were females.
Okay, and how many of them were actually nursing?
We're actually nursing. Roll me another percentage.
Wow.
Wow. All right, we'll say 3 of them were nursing.
Wow. We must have been really close to the den.
I have to apply bandages.
Oh, sure.
Sounds
yes.
like a good idea.
Yeah.
How much are you down?
6.
6.
You did have 2 wounds, so 2 attacks.
So
So since I've got so much milk, I'm gonna go ahead and drop a whole bunch of stones in that milk.
I'm going to see if I can retrieve any of my arrows from the wolves. Everything hit.
and
Yep.
I'm going to apply a bandage to Johnson.
All right. How many arrows did you?
3,
3.
I think. 4, but I've ticked off 3. I'm not in this one.
Okay. Roll me a d6.
How many rounds were we fighting?
I think we only fought 3 rounds.
Yeah.
3 then.
No, we started the 4th.
Oh, yes, we had started the 4th.
Yeah, but I didn't get that turn, so 3. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So you only did 3. Yep.
Yep. You're able
Got
to
a 3
recover.
on the d.
Sorry, you'll recover 2. 2 out of
Thanks.
the 3.
I'm ready to slip stones to anybody who needs a few here and there.
I'm still mildly disappointed they weren't werewolf. I'm still using the silver arrows because that's what I've got pretty much.
Right?
Oh,
Because my daggers are silver.
All right. I'm going to
so
step away
I'm-
for a brief moment to take a bio break. I'll let you guys figure out which direction you want to take.
Yep. Well, I'm going to apply a bandage, which means you're only going to get 1.
1d2.
to 1.
1d2,
1d2.
not 1.
Yeah.
Is that big for me?
Yeah, that's for you.
Oh, sweet. I'm healed.
Well, you don't get the full 6. You only get 2 or 1. Is it just 1?
No, it's 1d2 plus potential 1 depending on your wisdom check. But
Okay,
you,
so you got 2 points from my bandage.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Let me update.
and you can roll a d2 by right clicking on the d6. And then left clicking on custom dice. And then there's a d2.
Yeah,
and a
there
d3.
we go. I forget that. I did not mean to roll that. Well, actually, I guess. Yeah, I see what you did. Okay.
Neat.
So let's see. I used a
Today is
bandage.
verily a day of learning things in Fantasy Grounds.
There we go. Used up another bandage.
So you guys want to go left or north? I mean, right or north?
Left or north? Let's go north, which is left then. North seems good to me, but
North
what do I
seems
know?
good to me too.
Yeah, I'm good with that. We need some of the wolf meats or pelt.
You could cut for either, yes, or skin or whatever.
Yeah, I've got a knife. I'm looking for meat.
Yeah, I think meat because we'd have to dry the pelts and stuff like that. We wouldn't have time for it.
I care about that. Right.
Yeah, let's just get some meat and go north.
Did you tell us about the colourful things you saw fluttering in the canopies?
All
If
I
so,
saw were shapes.
Because if
And
so,
that
then
was-
I'd like to have a closer look to see if I can spot these colourful things in the canopies.
Yeah, you did say color. Were the wolves the color?
No, I'm sorry. The bits of brown blur were the wolves. If that's what you're referring to, yeah, that's what you noticed.
Ah, sorry.
You
okay.
essentially moved the Sorak essentially noticed the wolves moving behind cover. Sorry if that was not a very good description of what you were seeing.
Yeah, no, I thought you said colourful, and I was thinking multicolored, like butterflies or some strange creatures.
That's what I was thinking.
I thought there were some strange creatures watching us as the wolves attacks us. But no, that's good. If it's just the wolves, that's one less thing we need to worry about as we move north with our fresh wolf meat. Om nom nom.
We want us to roll to harvest some meat.
Yeah, why don't you roll me 1d6? Oh my goodness. I think there's a
Dice
bug
roll
in the
fire.
dice randomness. It's like there's a strong bias towards high rolls right now. Same thing for
I think there was a high bias towards high rolls last time when aimed at me.
all right. And I'm updating your party sheet, and I forgot to. I think I forgot to share with you what you'd gathered from the last encounter. You had
Hot.
found 50 gold on the bandits, and then 4 daggers and 4 long bows and 4 small belt pouches.
Yeah,
And
they were actually semi-successful bandits.
semi.
Yeah.
Wolf hides, 1d6, please.
Let somebody else roll. So, in case I am biased, I don't want to tip my hand.
There you go. It's just you that's good. So just the 2.
We'll eat good tonight. But the day is still young.
Hello? Is there anybody there?
I hear you, Pete.
I can hear you.
Okay, so we rolled a 2 for the wolf hides, huh?
Yep, and he updated it in the party.
Okay.
Between the 2 wolf hides.
And then we were going to move north.
North. Yep.
Sorry, I had a quick conversation with Jen. She's returning to her desk. Okay. Heading to the north, so you're taking the left trail.
Yep.
I don't know, it just seemed sexier than the right trail. It had a special hotness to it.
I can hear you guys.
I can hear
I can hear you. Going north.
Okay, anything else you want to do, Jen? It looks like you were able to recover a lot of the wolf meat and 2 hides.
Yeah, I just wanted to milk the wolves, make the steep stones, and
Right, and how many do you create?
I'm gonna do all 21 that I can keep. So I'm
Okay.
gonna do 3 spells.
I'm going to recover my inscribed rock, ready to re-inscribe it maybe if I have rooms left before we get to sleep.
Okay. Those stones take a while to steep, right, Jen?
I think that we had said that they didn't that they did take about an hour at least.
Yeah, but that has to be done over heat, right?
Yes, the milk does have to be heated. I will stop to heat it up.
For three
But again,
for an I'm sorry, for an hour of heating.
no, we said that it just needs to be warm, and then the stones sit in the milk, like a tea bag would sit in water, in warm water.
Hmm. Okay. We should make a note.
Might
So
not. Yeah. I mean, you can throw them in and see whatever. I mean, at least when we stop, you'll be able to cook them up if they're not ready. It's fresh from the teat is kind of warm.
okay. I should be able to keep it straight for next time. And you've decided to hang a left.
Yep.
At this point. All right. So as you pack up and head north, you continue into the forest, and the forest continues to get thicker and thicker until it is all you can see are trees on either side of the faltering path. It gets stronger in a few places, perhaps worn by animals, more worn by animals, and is barely recognizable in other places. Why don't you all give me another perception check? So, intelligence or wisdom.
I'm sorry. Give me just a moment. The dog needs water.
I'm thinking of cracking open a beer.
Good
Stout
idea.
or red ale. I think I'll go with the stout.
I'll roll for Jen. All right. Vartan.
You said perception.
Yeah, actually, I'll go ahead and roll. I'd rolled for you, but I'll let you roll since you were back so quick.
Sorry.
That's right. Oh, my roll is much better. But neither one succeeded anyway. So no help there. But Vartan does notice that after traveling for perhaps a couple of hours, you begin to realize that the trail that you're on seems to be familiar to you. As if you've covered the same bit of ground perhaps once before. And at this
yeah, okay, that's weird.
So, and at this point, the forest is so thick that you can't even see the sky. It's actually grown a bit dark from the cover of the trees.
But we don't remember any bit of forest that's quite this dark, so I guess it's just the path that seems familiar, not the darkness, correct?
Yeah, no, it's actually been like that for a good while, perhaps an hour or more. So it's only after the second hour of travel, at least an hour of it being in this very dense, overgrown part of the forest, that you realize that you've perhaps have traveled this bit of path before.
As an elf, I have an ability called Wilderness Lore. Is there anything that I might know about this type of behavior on paths in forests?
You can immediately sense that it doesn't seem natural. Um, the forest itself seems a bit off, a bit odd.
I suggest to the others that I can maybe climb a tree to get a view from above. I tell them, hey, this doesn't seem right. It seems like we're going in circles, but it certainly doesn't feel like we're going in circles. So maybe we need to get a look above the canopy. Do you want me to climb up here and take a look?
You go right ahead. This dwarf don't climb.
So I try and climb up the tree. Or a tree. The easiest looking one to climb.
Okay. The brush and the leaf cover is very thick as you climb, but due to your elven nature, you seem to have an affinity for climbing trees in this way. So you eventually make your way to the top, and as soon as you get very near the top, the crown of the tree, you realize the light has come up quite a bit because now you're back in sunshine again. As you take a look around, you see that the forest looks exactly the same in all directions for as far as your eyes can see.
Ah, crap. Don't like that. Okay. So I climb back down and I inform the others and then ask Menius, is this something you knew about these woods? Because he was with us because he knows something about the woods. So.
He sort of shakes his head unsure and then just sort of shrugs his shoulders and just points forward like just keep going.
Okay, so does anyone want to make distinctive marks on rocks or trees or on the path? Carve a line on the path or something, and then every 10 minutes carve a line in the path, or more often, to see if we come back over them.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
You can do one of these rune mark things, right? Where we can travel from one rune to another.
Yes.
Okay. And the circumstances under which you can do that?
Yes, let me just remind myself what they are. So, fold space. Looking for the book because it's not well structured for me. Fold space. Yes, but I need to be able to see the desired point.
Indeed. So,
but we
I
can't
propose
see much from here.
I propose that I dig a bramble burrow. I can take one person into it with me. I'll take you. You put a rune at the other end. And then everybody travels.
So everybody moves through. So I can see through your bramble tunnel to the other end then.
No, you would have to walk through the bramble tunnel to the other end.
Okay, so I can. What I've been doing before was using static runes that cost me 3 runes to do, and that's to make a portal to a location that I was previously at. So if that's what I'm doing, that will cost me 3 runes. If it's just a portal to somewhere where I can see, so if I could see all the way through your bramble tunnel from one end to the other, then I could create the portal from one end to the other with only
I don't
one
think
rune.
you would be able to because the tunnel is 1d6 miles long.
Okay, so yeah, it's 1d6
and we don't
miles
have to do
long.
it. I'm just saying that
it's
maybe
1d6 miles long in reality, but in magical terms, you just step through it, no? So can you see through it or not?
I don't know. What doth thy say, O keeper of the castle?
Or is it bramble tunnel specifically because you can't see it because it's really overgrown or something?
No, the tunnel is bare, safe, and warm.
And does go down at some point. So it's like a descending into an extremely large rabbit warren.
Okay, so you cannot see from one end to the other. All right,
Yeah.
that's fine.
That's what I thought.
So yeah, I can do it, but it'll cost me 3 runes to do.
Okay.
But I can do that, yeah. So how about how long does your tunnel stay open for?
As long as I'm in it. Oh, or
Okay.
one day.
Okay, because then I can go to the other end, see if it's somewhere new or not. And if it's not somewhere new, we just go back. And if it is somewhere new, then I will portal us there.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Teamwork.
Yay, teamwork.
So I will. Well, it cost me 4 runes, in fact, to get all this done. But because it's 3 to put the rune and then 1 to activate it.
Oh, there you go.
So I will set up this rune where we started, and then I will go through her bramble tunnel, see where we end up, and then potentially activate a rune to bring everyone through.
Okay. So, Arista, you begin your ritual of gathering branches and leaves, and you build the entrance to your burrow. And eventually, a hole appears, and you walk through it with Vartan at your side. As you take just a few dozen paces, you see the exit, which you guess to be 1 to 6 miles away. And as you exit, not
I can't
Well,
exit. I have to stay
she
in.
oh,
stays
that's right,
in.
you
I
stays
exit.
in it, right? So Vartan, as you begin to exit, a few hundred yards ahead of you, you see the shape of a dwarf and a tall half-orc fighter.
Bummer.
Okay, Arista. So I let her know what's happened and invite her to come out with me, and we'll walk up to them from behind just to scare the bejesus out of them.
Oh no, you see the front of them. They're facing you.
Front of them. So they see us looking out of the tunnel we just walked into, but from up ahead of them.
Yep. And I'll lean over to Johnson and goes, boy, that's good magic.
Well, the good news is now I have a static rune to a fold space portal in the lost part of the woods. So if we can ever push someone into one, that could be interesting.
Why did you wait? Why do you have a static rune?
Because I set up the initial portal to come back to her, and then I would need to spend another rune, a 4th rune, to activate it. But so it's set up, but I just didn't activate it.
Yeah, he anchored it.
Yeah, I anchored it before I went in.
I guess I would have expected to do that after we figured out where it came out, because we wanted to make sure that it didn't do this, that it just did.
I like the idea of having this anchored static rune into a lost part of the woods. You never know when it could come in handy.
Okay.
That's where we send people we don't like.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so. Well, at least it only cost 1 rune.
Well, it costs 3 runes to do the anchor. It would have cost 1 rune more to go back to it. But it's nice that it's there. I will enjoy it.
Can we hear any water running? Like, are we anywhere near the river that runs through this woods?
Give me a perception check.
Yep.
As you actively. Yeah, no. As you sort of bend your ear toward the wood on either side of the road, you hear nothing.
Okay. Just trying to find some place that we could use as a guide.
So Vartan is having a good sit down and think about what has happened now, because it's very confusing to him.
You can see that Menlaus's brow is very furrowed. He seems very troubled.
Yo, Manlos, what is up?
He shakes his head as if he's in some serious disbelief.
Can you write? If I give you a pen and some paper, can you tell us that way?
He will shake his head no. He will just kind of he'll sort of meekly or meagerly point ahead as if he's not sure.
Have you heard of this before? Yes, no question time.
Yeah, I'll shake his head no.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think I want to look around for a branch. I'm going to try to measure out how much, we try to come up with some way of figuring out the distance that we're
Well,
looping.
every 100 yards we can write a number in the dirt.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, etc. until we come back on it.
Yep, I was thinking just
100
like
paces, let's say.
one broken twig, 2 broken twig, but that actually works too.
Okay. I'm going to sit down and study that spell book I have, because
for us to reappear.
There's something to do with astronomy here. Maybe that will help us out.
Okay, give me that. So that'll probably take a little bit of time, more than just a few minutes. But if you want to invest that time, go ahead and give me a d20. Check. As far as the scribbling in the ground, it's the path is pretty well covered with leaves and debris. So if you're gonna scratch something, it's gonna have to be, you'll have to clear a very large area.
Well, what if I took a piece of bandage, we wrote on it, and like stuck it to a tree?
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, if you want to affix something like that, or yeah, that seems like that's a reasonable thing to do.
We can do like bears where they mark their territory by scratching trees. We could use the axes, just hack into a tree, 3
Or
strikes.
just take a dagger, scratch a 1.
Yeah.
1.
Okay.
Make sure we always do it on the same type of tree. Look for something distinguishing about it.
So
I'm totally not paying attention to you guys. I'm just reading my book, and
that's fine.
you're all done like scratching on trees and tying things around them. I pull out my quill, my ink, my sealing wax, my paper.
Just don't get scared when we appear behind you.
as Johnson approaches the tree and begins to scratch into the bark, you can all hear an almost imperceptible groan as if the wood is creaking. I don't know if you've ever been in any serious woods, but you can hear that sort of creaking noise. Yeah, and that sort of occurs all around you.
I wonder if we got trees.
Are the trees speaking Vietnamese?
What, from the croaking?
Yeah, it's not the VC.
No, but we sense that the trees are actually communicating, correct?
It would seem suspicious to you that it happens almost exactly at the moment you begin scratching into the wood. And it's nothing like immediately remarkable, just that it sounds like the whole tree was being blown by a strong wind and began, croaking at
Okay,
one
so
time.
we could just leave numbered pieces of paper along the trail, just tuck them under a rock or something so they don't blow away.
Or let's try cutting another tree, see if it happens again.
I don't want to piss off the forest, thank you. Not when we're already lost in it.
We can take a bandage and wrap around. Try that.
Bandage a tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
You hippie druid, you.
Ah. Hey, I'm one with the earth.
You'll be one in the earth if we upset this forest much more.
Well, assuming Johnson goes to scratch the second number into the tree, you will notice the same thing happens.
Okay. Well, if that happens, I say we stop scarring the trees.
Right, but the trees
Something.
are preventing us from getting where we need to go. We gotta actually talk to the trees or communicate with them.
Does anyone here speak tree?
It's magic. Where's Arista? This is her thing.
Clearly, you just.
I believe in the strength of my axe and in my lord's holy power.
You're the elf. Why don't you talk to the tree?
Yeah. No, we don't do that. So let's just number a piece of paper. Leave the trees alone. They didn't do anything to hurt us yet.
They're keeping us from leaving.
Maybe they want us to go somewhere. Maybe somewhere important.
Maybe we should go the other direction.
So I'm guessing this path, it was all well after the wolves that we started seeing this. We haven't
Yes.
walked back over the path of the wolf, so we wouldn't see the wolf corpses and things.
Yeah, no, that was quite a ways behind you. That was out when the trees were fairly sparse.
It was normal. You mean normal?
Normal, yes. Yeah, the area of wood that you've been in for the last hour or so has been just incredibly overgrown. And it's mostly tall trees. It's mostly tall oaks and pines and those sorts of trees.
Okay, so we leave ourselves a note with a 0 on it, and then look for somewhere to leave a similar note in about 100 yards and leave a 1, and then etc. Just wedge it under a rock.
I've got cord we can use and cut off little pieces and tie it.
Okay.
Or whatever.
How far apart are you going to leave the note?
100 yards.
Arista, it looks like the rest of the party is getting up and starting to scratch notes and walking forward.
I guess I'll get up with them.
Or you could just stay here and wait for us to come back.
Not a bad idea.
Okay. So the three of you are going to walk away.
I think we should travel together, though. If something happens, we don't want to be split up.
I want to stay with her. She can't be by herself.
Arista, do you want to give up your studying for a minute? We need to just figure out how far we're going in loops here. And I don't want to see you or just two of you left behind while we do it.
I can do that.
Find an exit, then all the better. If we end up in a loop, okay, you can sit down and read your book while we try and figure it out again. So yeah, we'll move as an entire party, leaving a note tucked under a rock every 100 yards, starting with 0 and then moving up to 1, 2, 3, etc. until we see a duplicate or until we've walked far enough.
Somewhere very far away, Someone who is peering into a glass chuckles. They didn't split the party in the middle of a deep, dark, magical forest. They're smarter than I
Indeed.
give them credit for. I'm kidding. Anyway,
I don't have an 18 int for nothing, you know.
all right, so you begin placing notes every 100 yards. And you're just inscribing like 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah, 0 on the first one, and then 1, 2, 3 after
0 on
that.
the first one. Okay.
We're coding.
You're
You're coding it.
Yeah, you always start with 0. Come on.
Yes, all right.
Index
Or
is
is it an
always
O for
starts with 0.
origin?
Yeah. Depends on your point of view.
Yes, the index is always 0. Start with 0.
All right. So you get to, as you go to put down note number 20, you'll notice as you look down, you'll see that there's already a note about where you were about to put note number 20, and the note is 19.
Interesting.
So we may be making progress, but then we step back and then make progress and then step back. So it's 20 steps forward, 1 step back. That's not the end of the world. Does mean we're revisiting places, unless the next one's going to be 18.
Yeah,
The
keep
next
going.
one-
See what happens.
Yeah, let's keep going and see what the next one is.
You travel about 100 yards, and you find, as you were expecting, there's another note. It's 18.
Okay, so we know that somewhere between 19 and 19, we turned around. So let's turn around again and go back towards 19 from this direction.
Wait a minute. Let's try this. Let's turn 90 degrees from where we are and start laying notes according to the alphabet.
Well, we're on a path at the moment. If we turn 90 degrees, we're off the path, and I'm not sure we want to be ready for that if we can't.
But
figure
maybe
out
the
what's
path
going
is the problem.
on. Yeah, can be. So who's up for stepping off the path into this oppressive, deep, dark, close forest?
But aren't there 2 paths? We just try and go to the other path?
That would require us to get out of here.
Let's try backtracking. He's right. Let's try backtracking.
Yeah,
That's
I'd be
right.
interested to see.
Let's see if we can find the place between 19 and 19 where we get turned around. Start putting notes closer between those 2 points. So once every 10 yards until we find a loop, and then once every yard until we find a loop, and then see if we can find exactly where we're getting turned around.
10 yards. Can we see each other from 10 yards?
Sure, we can.
Mm-hmm.
So that would also be very interesting once we place the 10-yard one and we suddenly see that we're back on the previous 10-yard one. Can we see the other half of the party are standing 10 yards back there?
All right, let's give it a try.
Okay, so what are you going to do now?
We're
You're at
going to
the
backtrack.
18th.
So we're going to backtrack towards 19.
Okay.
Yeah. If we get to 19, we will start putting tags 1 every 10 yards until we find either another 19 or an 18. If we find an 18, then we backtrack down those. And once every 10 yards is ended, we start continuing once every 10 yards back towards the other 18.
Okay.
So basically, we're trying to isolate where we're getting turned around.
Okay. So you start placing a note every 10 yards.
Yeah.
Heading towards 19.
Where we assume 19 is.
Where you assume 19 is. You find...
These are new. This is A0 now. A0, A1, A2. Yeah.
Right, okay. So you find 19.
And then we continue that way.
And you continue in that direction, and you will find...
Placing every 10 yards.
A9.
A 9.
Yeah, it'd be
A9.
the letter A9. I think that's what you said, right? A1, A2,
Yeah.
A3
Yeah, yeah.
every 10 yards.
So now we turn around again and walk back towards the original A9, but placing one every 1 yard.
We could use our bodies at this
And
point.
and we can even have one person stand on A9 and then look towards the other A9 because we can maybe see 10 yards.
Yes, because there'd only be 20 yards roughly between those 2 points, right?
Yes.
Yep. So you stretch out. Who stays at A9?
I'll stay.
Okay, Sorak. And who goes to the 19?
I will.
Okay. Who stands at the other A9?
I will.
Okay. And then the next one would be A8.
Well, we want to see what we can see between the A9s now. Can we see both
You
people?
see Arista and Johnson. I'm sorry, who was standing in the middle? Sorak?
Yeah.
Yep.
So Sorak can see Arista and Johnson at both A9s.
Correct.
Okay. So
And we're not next to each other.
No. You're 30 feet apart, so you can see each other relatively clearly. It's still, like I said, it's a bit darker than normal. Like it's perhaps
you can see each other, but anyone looking at you sees both of you. And what do you guys see when you look back at Sorak?
They see Sorak and each other.
Okay, so I now walk between Johnson and Arista as Sorak watches me to see what does he see happen to me as I walk between the two of them. So I start with one of them, so he sees three of us there, and he sees me walk until I get to the other one.
He does not. Right, he doesn't see any discontinuity. He sees you walk from Arista to Johnson.
Right past himself.
Right past himself.
Okay. So now we try it around where Sorak's standing in 1 meter increments. Let's see if we can really narrow down exactly where this discontinuity is.
Well, at that distance, there's no discontinuity.
For you. Yeah, there is for you because you're seeing two people where we know there's only one person.
In his inertial frame of reference.
Yeah, if I look to my left, I see Arista. If I look to my right, I see Johnston.
No, you see Arista and Johnson, your left and your right.
No, I'm sorry. He sees only one on either side. So as he turns left, he sees Arista, and as he turns right, he sees Johnson. And Johnson and Arista can see each other even at that distance.
And we both have A9s at our feet.
Okay, so why don't you both pick up the A9 at your feet and then walk together to meet Sorak and see if we have two A9s. And if we do, let's find our most powerful items and put them on the ground and pick them up and duplicate them. Yay, we found dupe bugs.
Nice. I like it. Okay, I'm going to start walking toward Sorak.
Both pick up their A9 tag.
With my A9 tag.
And they both walk towards Sorak.
So they both walk towards Sorak. And when they arrive there, you find that each of you is holding a piece of paper with A9 written on it.
Okay, should we do the same experiment with a bag of gems? Or just one gem would be a good start.
Well, wait a minute. What if this is just time? It
What
is
if it's-
literally the same piece of paper, but at different times.
But now we have a paradox because there's two.
Yes, because you could not both pick up the same
Mhm.
piece of paper at different times unless you both go and put it back. So let's not put it back.
Okay. Ooh. I'll burn mine. I'll tear mine in half. How's that?
Well, we burn both of them.
We don't have to burn it. Just tear it in half.
Okay.
Tear one
What
long ways and one the other ways.
Uh-huh. Mark?
And I'm sorry, what are you doing with them? You're putting them back, you're saying?
No, we're just tearing one lengthways and one crossways just
Oh,
to
the pieces
see.
of paper? Yep, they
Yeah.
Mhm.
tear exactly as you expect them to tear. One tears as you tear, Arista, as you tear yours short ways, nothing happens to the paper that Johnson is holding. And as he tears his lengthwise, nothing happens to the piece of paper you're holding.
So they're not papers stuck in time.
So it really is a duplication. This is
Mm-hmm.
very odd.
So I have a ruby worth 75 gold here. True?
What if this is an illusion and we're asleep or trapped?
It oh. Oh, that is so evil, Pot. But we haven't slept.
I know that we're aware of, but the trees, as we're walking, could have had pollen or whatever.
Hmm.
Oh, like The Happening, the movie that was it The Happening?
Yep.
But we heard the groaning
Or
when
the Wizard of Oz, the poppies.
we scratched the tree, though. We heard it groan. So
But I mean, it's space-time paradox or it's an illusion, one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
On the off chance it's space time paradox, let's get some more of these rubies.
problem
Not a
is
bad
one
idea.
will be antimatter and then they'll explode.
New weapons. Awesome. Forget your steep stones. We're throwing rubies at people.
Hey, does somebody want to go back up the tree and see if it looks any different?
Yeah, I will climb up a tree at the point where we know that we're in between the two A9s. A9 or A9? That's the question.
Yeah, right on 19.
Yeah.
All right, as before, you sort of nimbly climb up, even though it is very dense and would hinder most other people. And you reach the top and you notice the sun has set quite a bit since you last saw it.
There's
But
only
it's-
one sun in one direction, yeah.
What's that? Right.
The sun,
There's no two suns if I look left and look right. There's
Right. Only the one sun. And it appears where you might expect it to appear. You know, a little bit low in the sky. As it's now well past noon, it's heading towards evening.
is it to the west? Is the sun to the west? Or what you think is the west?
Yes, it looks like it's setting in the west. And, you know, depending on how you orient, if you as you consider where the path is below you, the path looks to be running east and west.
Okay. So we were supposed to be going north, but now we're going east and west.
Well, you were generally heading west to get to the center of the forest.
North and west.
A bit north and west. So at times the path ran a bit farther, you know, northwest, and then sometimes it's west and northwest, and sometimes it's just pure west. So east west. So
Menelaus, is it possible to contact this hermit
he will shake his head.
without reaching his home?
No, he'll shake his head. No. He'll just kind of meekly point towards the west and shrug again.
Manlas, have you been here before?
He'll hold out his finger. Two. He'll hold out
You've
two
been
fingers.
to the hermit's house twice before.
He'll shake his head. Yep.
And did you have this kind of trouble in the past?
He'll shake his head. No.
This has got
Emphatically.
spell. It's got to be a spell protecting the hermit.
Yep,
Is it doing
misdirection.
set magic or dispel illusion or something?
Right? Yeah, I don't have anything like that.
Yeah, I can't do anything like that.
If Jen, why don't you give me an intelligence check in the tower? Okay, as you sort of ponder things and look about, nothing strikes you as being arcane in nature. You don't see any marks of any arcane marks, anything.
No sigils, no runes.
Exactly.
Okay, is it possible, as a rune mark, I know the rune tether, that someone has tethered a dimension to itself?
Do you know the rune tether? I think yes.
Rune tether. And this binds two realms together with a tether that only the person can see, and it marks the tether is generally used with mirrors, which I don't have, which makes it permanent, marking the way like breadcrumbs.
Okay. I'm assuming at this
So-
point you've climbed down for your tree perch, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So rune marks use tethers in order to keep track of where the various dimensions, realms, or other realities lie. So I can use tether to bind myself to a particular plane.
Okay, why don't you give me a charisma check?
I'll be right back.
That wasn't ever.
The tower. Sorry. In the tower.
Okay. You carefully look about, seeing if you notice any runes, any sign of rune magic, anything resembling runes, and you also do not see anything that indicates that there's arcane or rune magic being used here.
Okay, but it's possible I can even use tether, because tether, a rune mark cannot become lost while crossing between two bound planes. So if I combined these two A9s together,
But
maybe
you don't have that rune learned, right?
Yes, I do have tether
You
learned.
do have
That's what
learned.
I'm saying.
Okay, that's what I thought you said. All right. Let me think about this. What is it, the intent that you're trying to get, the effect you're trying to get by binding A9s together?
Binds two realms together with a tether that only the caster can see. So it marks the way like breadcrumbs. So it kind of shows me what the dimensional reality between 2 points are. That's my understanding.
Right.
The
Okay.
the user must be aware of both realms as he moves through the interdimensional space between the borders of the realms, binding them together. The rune mark cannot become lost while crossing between two bound planes.
Right. So presumably you're going to go to one A9, cast a rune, and then go to the other A9 and cast the second.
A9, the second, and then tether those 2 points together to see what the interdimensional reality between those 2 points are.
Right. To get a sort of sense of what is the dimensional reality. So and that'll cost you 2 rune casts, right? So
Yeah.
as you cast the second rune at the second A9, you can see that they appear to be on exactly the same plane of existence, and they are not a duplicate. there's no force or plane in between the two of them. It would be as if you walked on one side of a river or you cast the two runes on either side of, say, a river. There's like nothing between them but water and air. And
So it just shows me that they're part of the same reality.
Exactly.
Then how can
that didn't help at all? Damn it!
If we didn't create two A9s, how can there be two A9s?
Unless someone
Right.
else is A9s just to f with us.
and how can Johnson and I each stand on an A9 and not also be on the other A9?
That's the point. Then when I cast tether at one of the A9s and put a rune on a tree or on the ground or wherever I put the rune on a rock, and then I went to the other A9, was my rune not already there? And if it wasn't, then I put a second rune.
Good point. When you cast the first, I'm sorry. So the second rune, you did cast the second rune. It was not already there at the A9 point.
So the paper was duplicated, but the rune was not at the 2A9.
Correct.
Don't
Seems like
it.
somebody actively messing with us.
Yeah, someone could be deliberately leaving duplicate notes. They're copying our notes and then putting them on the path to mess with our heads. Well, let's put the A9, or put a new A9 with an underline under it or something back where it was, and then walk back to the first A9 and see if the paper has duplicated itself this time. But looking that direction the whole time, looking where we would expect the A9 underline to be, because we can see them from each other.
Mm-hmm.
What if we walked backward?
Well, one person can walk backward looking at the original A9 underscore, and then one person
Right.
can walk with them forward looking towards the new to be A9 underscore once we put it there.
Wait a minute. Let's just make it a B9.
A B line for the A9. So.
Oh, man.
My
All right,
brain's
so to
hurt.
jump ahead a little bit, so I think I understand what you're trying to do is trying to capture the duplication or if it is duplication. So you'll notice as you put down the B9 paper and you walk towards the old A9 where you would expect that B9 paper to be there, you'll see there is no B9 paper there. As you're very diligently casting your gaze about to watch, or they're walking backwards.
When we're not looking at them. Okay.
And your bag of gems is just still one bag of gems is still sitting there at A9.
I collect my bag of gems. I was going to do one gem, not one bag of gems.
Oh,
but
sorry. Okay, I thought you said bag.
Definitely picking it back
Oh,
up.
one ruby.
You're one ruby.
Oh.
You still only have net one ruby.
I think somebody needs to hide somewhere and watch while the rest of us trudge away.
Well, it's not just people duplicating stuff, because the bramble also brought us back pretty much where we started.
Right.
And there's no way that someone could have duplicated and moved that to mess with us.
Correct. You're right.
So this is just confusing AF. I am really stuck.
I am too.
Johnson, Arista?
I'm going to go back to reading my book.
I'm going to burn the forest down.
Okay. You're going to light a torch?
Oh, I'm not going to light. I'm not going to do that.
I'm going to keep studying that spell, seeing if I can figure it out.
I mean, she needs the time for the page with the stars on it, and we have to wait for nightfall. So let's just set up camp.
Hang on.
And as you mentioned that, crap, I can't do it. I can only take one other person into the bramble with me.
What do you want to do?
Well, I can make sure that we're safe overnight by staying in the bramble.
Well, I was going to say, if you get me underground, I can definitely tell you direction.
Oh, I took the wrong one with me the first time, huh?
'Cause I have a neat direction sense underground.
All right. So let's wait for dark. Let's set up a little campfire. Give me something to read by. See if I can get anything out of this book. And then when we're ready.
Stones.
What's that?
And steep your stones.
Yeah, well, my stones have been steeping, so.
It's been several hours.
Yeah, they are well steeped.
Or at least we think it's been 7 hours. Who knows anymore?
Right?
Oh, we haven't felt overtly hungry, so it hasn't been several days.
No, you don't feel anything. You don't feel anything different than you would normally expect at this time of day. At this point, the forest is dark enough. It would be, lighting a campfire would definitely help dispel the darkness. It's much darker in the woods than it was up at the canopy.
Right, and the sun was setting, close to setting.
Yeah.
Then, so yeah.
Is the book any help?
Give me a check.
Thor, hush.
That's so cool.
Intelligence.
Or hush.
I'm sorry, Mark. What check am I giving you? Intelligence or just a D20?
Yep, intelligence. No, just give me an intelligence in the tower.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Give me a sec. I gotta look into that.
Yeah, go tell your Norse god to be quiet.
He was named after X-Men. Not X-Men. Avengers.
So he is an Asgardian.
Yep.
He was not named after Avengers. He was named after the god Thor. We were studying mythology that year.
Oh, I apologize. I thought it was the Avengers. We were heavy into Avengers that year, in my defense.
Indeed, we were. But we had just finished studying mythologies of the world, and his name is short for Thunder Before Lightning.
That's right.
Really fart that loud?
Okay. So.
All right. So I did roll my check.
Yep. So 2 things are going to happen simultaneously. First, Menlaus will sort of jump up and begin sort of grunting loudly, almost a scream, and pointing off into the woods. And at just about that time, Arista, you realize that the sort of the spell finally comes into focus, and the runes, the marks, the symbols start to suddenly make sense. And so you learn a new spell. It's more like a ritual called Stargazer. It's in the spell list.
I'm on it.
Should be in there. I think I just added it. It is... Oh, whoops. Scroll. Sorry, stargazing. And as I said, so Menlos will sort of hopping and grunting, almost screaming, pointing into the woods.
I'm gonna look where he's pointing.
And yep, and as you all turn to spin to see what he's pointing at, you'll notice something brown being drug on the ground at very fast speed by some impossibly long vines or branches, and it will quickly disappear into the wood.
Follow that thing.
Okay, you're going to run after it?
That would be my...
You start running, then I run just to try and keep pace with you to find out where the hell you're going.
Okay, so Vartan begins chasing Sorak. What are you doing, Johnson?
Joking.
Saw this.
I'm going to stay with Arista.
Okay. Yeah, she's a little bit distracted because she just realizes she's had a breakthrough and has discovered that she can read this spell finally after such a long period of many, many days of study.
I'm sorry, where did you say this spell was?
It's in that large book, that spell book. It's one of the earlier
gray
spells.
one?
Yeah. Yeah, you said you have the large gray tome. I don't know what you called it. Or what I called it.
The rules for... Oh, wait. The rules for sorcery? Wonder and wickedness?
You're
I'm
asking about a
confused.
real spell book? No, it's in the
Yes.
spell lists inside of Fantasy Grounds.
It's in the spell list.
Yeah, so if you pull up the spell list.
Okay.
Type in star.
Uh-huh. Found it. Thank you.
Okay. I may have had
Two
it
separate words. I was making it one. I'm sorry.
No problem. You're right. Grammatically, it's probably one word. Oh, well. Live with it.
Okay, then.
All right. Sorak and Veritan, the brush seems to get incredibly impossibly thick as you start running. So both of you give me dexterity checks.
Matar?
Yep. Okay. Sorak, you seem to, perhaps because of your diminished height, or just the force of your mass, your short, low to center gravity mass, you seem to break through the branches with no issue. Vartan, even though you sort of have some sense of the force in you, you quickly fall behind Sorak. And Sorak, at this point, you've lost sight of whatever it was that was being dragged on the ground.
Okay. I can't see any path that it went down.
Yeah, you feel like you could keep running in the direction you're running.
Okay.
But you're no longer positive that it's the correct direction.
And there's no drag marks on this thing.
No, the floor is. I mean, the forest floor is just full of leaf litter and twigs and stuff. So and needles even.
Yeah, but if something was being dragged through that would leave a big mark. So on the ground or.
Yeah, sure. No, that's fair. Perhaps it would be. You would have to stop sort of and take. It'll slow you down to look at it. It wouldn't be obvious.
Well, I'm going to look back to see if Vartan is there. And
yeah, Vartan's probably 5 yards behind you now.
Okay.
After about 10 seconds of sprinting.
Yeah. I'm going to go back towards where he is because I don't want to get separated.
Yeah. It's just that you're finding the wood is impossibly thick off of the trail. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now we need. I think we can find a trail through this, work our way back, and then bring the others with us.
Yep. Yep. You're only what are you? 30 feet, 60 feet. So you're less than 100 feet from
where they
the
are.
Trail. Yeah.
And we should be able to see the light potentially, because if I think Arista said she was building a little campfire.
I think that was that Arista or was that Johnson?
I built one for her so she could read.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I think we should head back and try to get them and try to find our way down this path together.
Okay. You will notice, Sarek, when you get back to the trail that the trail seems quite a bit less oppressive and boxed in, and it actually seems like it's gotten slightly lighter. Like you can actually tell the true nature that it's, an hour to an hour and a half before sundown.
Okay. That's kind of odd.
And
it's almost like some gas was broke.
And Menlaus will be quite panicked looking at you expectantly, like shaking his head with a kind of where is it look.
Lost it. Whatever that was, we lost it in the brush.
All right. You will hear him let out a very loud cuss word.
Do you know what it was?
I'm going to ask him, is that the hermit?
No, he'll shake his head. And he'll almost look like he's in tears now.
Do you know what that is?
He'll point to his empty hands. Or he'll show you his empty hands. He'll make like a box like pantomime.
Oh no, they took the box.
Oh.
Go get it.
If you're talking, I didn't hear it. So, oh no, they took the box.
Yes, no, that's he'll sort of shake his head, sort of meepishly.
So
now he's starting to sob.
Whatever it was, grabbed the box that he was carrying, the evil box, and made off with it.
To be clear, whatever it was sort of vines on the floor of the forest. So
the forest itself.
Yeah.
And now the whole ambiance around us is less oppressive. So
and we can probably leave the forest.
Lurking, waiting for a chance to snag that.
So maybe we continue on to the hermit's house and tell him of our adventures.
Menlaus will sort of shake his head. Like,
I think we need to follow, try to find whatever grabbed the box.
Well, it would seem that if we just go to wherever the forest is the deepest and the darkest, follow the darkness, no? It lightened when the box left. So well, the box is where the forest is dark.
I don't know. I want to pursue those vines.
It seems like you could follow the trail if you tracked carefully.
Yeah. We got a tracker with us?
No.
Yeah, you had 2 of them last
Yeah, the
go
last
In
party,
our last party.
this party's got none.
Well,
Yes,
that's why I'm thinking if we go find the hermit, then we can bring the hermit back here.
Yeah.
The trail will go cold, but maybe he's good enough that he could find it.
I think
And
we follow.
we know that if we go into that darkness, we're not going to be able to get out of it until the box is away. As long as we're near the box, we're going to be stuck in that dark loop area. So we won't be able to find the hermit.
But without the box, there's no sense going to the hermit. That's my thought.
Other than to tell the hermit that we had the box and it's here in his forest somewhere and we need to get it back, or we want to get it back. We'd be happy to help him get it back. Otherwise, how do we get it back? We can't track it.
Well,
or we
can.
can track it, but we won't be very good at it. And once we get it, then how do we get out of the forest and find the hermit?
I think you're right. We need to find the hermit.
Well, one last piece. Why don't you share what it is that you learned, Arista?
Oh, yes. Give me a second. So this spell takes 10 minutes to cast, and I will be able to correctly orient myself to true north. I'm also able to determine our approximate location, as well as our rough distance to some known distant location. And for the next 4 hours, we all get +2 bonus to any survival, navigation, or other checks involving orientation and location.
So you can get us out of here because you can get us in a fixed real direction.
Correct.
Possibly. So I can get us out of here. I can't find the box.
Right.
No, but if we go directly for us to find the box by tracking its drag marks, then once we get the box, you can get us out.
Right.
Okay.
Because potentially we might be able to kill whatever is causing this loop issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should pursue as well.
Okay, let's go without hesitancy or delay. Put that fire out.
Okay, so you strike the campfire and begin working your way through the thick branches. As I said before, you'll notice that this forest is not quite, it doesn't seem quite as thick and oppressive as it did just a few moments ago. So you'll find you can actually go a little bit easier through the branches than you previously could.
Mm-hmm.
And we are at the 4 o'clock mark. Do you want to keep going, or should we call it at this?
Maybe we leave that up to Pete, who's ready for bedtime.
That's
Yeah.
no, that's true.
I think we should call it. I've had a really long day, so.
Yep.
And I'm
Okay.
going to have a long day if all accounts are to be believed. So yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was the last bit? You have a long night ahead.
I have a long day tomorrow as well
Oh,
because we're like all out of all this BS that's been happening over the weekend. So.
oh no. Okay. Oh, is this something in the news or something at work?
At work,
Oh,
as I said, they had a huge issue, and they rebooted a storage node that meant that we also had to reboot 7,000 servers, which naturally
ooh,
caused issues. That's why I almost
holy,
had to work earlier.
wow. Okay.
I missed that
Yeah, so I
somehow.
think I did too. Well, good luck with that. I mean, I don't really work in that part of it, the IT part of it. I haven't for decades now, but that sounds unpleasant. So, so on that note, out of curiosity, you said a 2,000 servers had to be rebooted?
7.
1,000.
Oh, 7,000. They were reliant on one storage node?
Well, it's complicated.
Okay,
It's not the storage node, it's kind of the storage network that had a glitch. And
gotcha.
yeah, uh,
Is this
Like
like
so all the
nodes and all
is
that.
that block level storage or object storage?
I couldn't say exactly.
Okay.
For me, this is just storage that's serving a ton of virtual machines. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yep. Okay, I understand. Wow, that's a lot of servers.
We have a
So,
lot of servers. We have
yeah.
tens of thousands of servers, but yeah, 7,000. That's unprecedented. So
I'll say, holy shnikes, especially not expected.
Little
it
did
was
we know
it
that
was
Pete works for AWS Belgium.
AWS.
Amazon Web Service.
Oh right, no. I work for the National Telco, which isn't far off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so basically the storage went flaky in the week, and it's been flaky ever since, impacting both non-production and production environments. And
Mm.
their solution at the end was turn it off and turn it back on again, which
Like in
you
Jurassic Park.
don't do with something that size ever, except this
Yeah.
seemed to be the only way out of a really huge disaster situation.
Yeah, because that's going to cause cascade issues.
Yeah, that's what I was
So
thinking.
this is why they called me, because I'm the person you call when you're doing something ridiculously large. Then you get Pete involved.
Mm.
However, called me on a really bad day to call me, so my boss has been handling it, and he said, "If you can dial in, and you can really help out." And I dialed in, and then he said, "Oh, it's all under control at the moment."
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. At least he thinks it's under control, so he'll send me an update. Well, there's probably an update sitting in my mailbox that I'm refusing to read until tomorrow morning. So,
Well, good luck with that. Yeah.
okay. This is why they pay me. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's why you make the big bucks. Hitch up your
Well,
pants. Yeah, that's why I make the big bucks.
the medium bucks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
All right.
since
What
it's
am I
probably
thinking?
not big enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Okay. Sounds great.
All right. Well, thank
All
you
right, so
guys.
But it's
Mark,
Yeah.
are we going to meet next week?
Yeah. I don't have any reason not to.
Father's Day is the 20th, not the 13th, correct?
I think it's the 13th. At least here,
No, it's the third. It's always the third Sunday.
the server crashed. Good timing.
Hmm.
Yeah, good for us. Maybe not so much for Mark, huh?
It's the 20th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
So are we playing next week?
If Pete's okay with it being his Father's Day, then I think
Oh.
we're okay with it. Jen, even if we're in
Yeah.
Wisconsin, we can still play.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if we would have enough bandwidth for
he-
that.
Here it's June the 13th, but it should be okay for me.
Okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out, Jen. We'll just go to the
Okay.
coffee. Maybe you can stay at the cabin. I'll run to the coffee store or something. Grab their Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So,
We're hoping to be at a remote location next week.
Stuff. I was at a remote location today, which was great because it meant that all the notifications queuing up on my phone came at once when I left the site. I was like,
Oh,
nice.
I hate when I'm working the data center and that happens.
Yeah, it's the same in the data center. Actually, that's a good point. It's like a giant Faraday cage when people
Right.
were.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So after about 8 hours in the middle of nowhere in the woods, I was driving home and my phone just going bananas on notifications. So yeah.
Yeah.
All
All right, guys.
Yep.
We'll see you next week, or talk to you next week.
Okay.
Yep. See you then. Thanks
you
for the game. It was good, and I really don't like whatever it was that got us lost. That's bad juju.
It
Yes.
was the box in the forest.
Yeah. Well, we know the box is bad juju.
Yeah. All right.
I
Bye,
blame the
guys.
cleric. Bye.
All right. See you. Bye.